Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny is up in flames. It is now smoldering. Only smoke remains after that film has flopped financially at the box office. However, we did not see this coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the stunt actor who played Indiana Jones, perhaps as much as Harrison Ford in that film, well, he set himself on fire, literally, as part of this giant Hollywood strike that's going on. He set himself on fire. There's just one issue here, and that is that one little outlet took that story and ran with it in such a way that you're not going to believe the level of clickbait. And we think that it's worth looking at big time. Hang in there, folks. Let's get this video burning.
Hold on, fire! Hold on, fire!
All right, welcome back to another awesome opportunity to speak about entertainment and keep everyone out there ahead of the culture curve. We are so happy that you have joined us for this video. If you're happy as well, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Joining me to talk about this very, very funny story, you might not think so by the image, but trust us, it is Tommy Tables, a VI Pro level member and has become quite infamous on our channel for doing member spotlight videos exclusively for our members. Tommy, welcome back yet again.
Thank you. So happy to be here. I'm just burning with delight.
Well, we're going to light it up in just a moment, but Tommy, as we do, folks, remember that part of what this is all about is the Hollywood strike, right? SAG-AFTRA, the writer strike, the actor strike. Everybody's on strike. Nobody wants to work, apparently. Everybody wants more money, even though less money is being made. And part of that endeavor to get more money led to this one stuntman who plays Harrison Ford in so many movies and who was probably Indiana Jones in the movie just as much as Harrison Ford. He decided that the way to draw attention was to set himself on fire. But what is so funny to me, and this, I think this leads us to a broader conversation about clickbait articles and just how bad and desperate some of these sites are, is that ScreenRant, Brennan Klein is the author on this, but we don't know who selected the image. But ScreenRant chose an image of this that looks like the guy was hit by a yoga flame in Street Fighter 2. He's fully engulfed, but the problem is it's not the photo of him at all. Let's take a look at the article. Stunt performer sets himself on fire to become the coolest strike ever at SAG picket line. Stunt performer Mike Massa sets himself on fire to make a point at the picket lines in Atlanta while SAG-AFTRA fights for fair compensation. Now, that's already telegraphed in such a way you know who this author is in favor of completely. So we can throw any kind of middle ground out the window, make of that what you will. But this is the image, Tommy. You can see this individual is completely engulfed with flames. It looks like, and by the way, this was all over every social media account that ScreenRant has that this was the image that was used. And so what that did is it drove people to click on this, thinking that this man had set himself on fire as badly as the movie was on fire, that he probably did not make it. It looks like he's going to die. Well, guess what? That's not at all what happened. And so in fact, we can skip this article for the most part because it is truly just clickbait. Tommy, here's what it actually looks like. This is the man on fire. Let's compare. Hold on, folks. There he is on fire. He's got a few little tiny flames on him, impressive enough. There's what ScreenRant put for everybody to click on it. Again, here's what it really looks like. This reeks of desperation on many sides at this point, right? So, yeah, not good. But Tommy, let's talk about it. First of all, Tommy, do you think that there's any comparison to the image on ScreenRant and to the actual footage of the actor?
Well, Pro, I'll tell you this. I am just fired up. I'm burning mad right now because that actually is a photo of me after I walked out of Last Jedi. And I have no idea how ScreenRant were able to get a hold of it. I thought that was private.
The paparazzi, Tommy, they're after you.
I mean, I'm looking at that photo and I'm just hearing like the da-da-da-da-da Terminator 2 opening where, Sarah Connor gets, I think, vaporized by nuclear flame. And I mean, if I was Mike Massa, I'd probably be calling up Visa and MasterCard in my bank all in a panic, telling them that I'm not dead.
Right. Well, this it's just so funny because the way they use the picture, they make it seem like this man killed himself, on strike. And then you actually see it. And fair enough. He's got he's got the jacket that's meant to be on fire. He's got the pants that are meant to be on fire. And I'm sure they used a fire extinguisher as soon as this was over, hosed him down. It probably lasted all of 10 to 15 seconds. And, I'm not going to set my clothes on fire. So kudos to him that he's trained in how to do this. But I think it does speak to the heart of what we're seeing right now, which is that as this strike continues and neither side seems to be winning in the public eye, right? In fact, I received some emails about this. Someone, saying, we've got to differentiate between the regular Joe Schmo out there who's just trying to make it in this world and is on strike versus the big time celebrities who have very little to lose, and the big writers who have very little to lose. The person doing the gimbals, the person who's doing the, who just barely got into a writer's room on a CW project. Mm-hmm. They're in a whole different world of hurt. The problem that I have is that we've done some polling here. We've checked with the audience. When it comes to the optics of all of this, the average person in North America does not care for either party. They don't care for any part of Hollywood. And I think that you're seeing some of these kinds of articles where they play this up because they're trying to get someone to click on it because nobody cares about the strike. Tommy, do you think that either side of this is having some sort of impact in finding goodwill out of the North American population?
I mean, to your first point, I've noticed that. I've seen more and more articles coming out speaking about the fact that, yes, we've got the Brad Pitts, we've got, all these celebrities who make a lot of money, but there are also those who barely make $200 a day. And so you can see that there is a concerted push for that differentiation. But, like you said, Pro, I don't think it's going to matter. No one cares. And when you look at it online, when you look at social media reaction, and again, maybe this is just the algorithm feeding me what I'm looking at and there's a bias. All I see are comments about, it's been a month and a half or 2 months now since the writer's strike or since the writers actors strike started, and I haven't noticed it at all. And that seems to be the overwhelming response. People just, like you said, they don't care. They haven't felt the impact yet. Maybe next year when there's no Star Trek Strange New World season 3 out yet.
Oh, they'll be crushed. They'll be crushed. But
when
there's no new Haunted Mansion movie, which, by the way, I think is probably, now, no offense to anybody out there who likes it, but I think Haunted Mansion is probably the worst movie in the last 3 years. It definitely made me think, you know what? Artificial intelligence? Okay. I could go with that.
So you're the one who applied for that $900,000 a year job at Netflix, right?
I will happily super prompt away until I bang out a script with the help of artificial intelligence, Tommy, for that 900,000. But I just, Tommy, the thing is that I don't think the folks in Hollywood know just how poorly they are perceived by the rest of America, and perhaps it's because Hollywood has largely poo-pooed and cast aside the values of the audience at large.
Absolutely. And I think on top of that, this is kind of the end result of what happens when you not only believe your own hype, but you've bought all of your hype and you keep ensuring that the hype that you've bought keeps getting repeated in the media, right? I mean, this is something that we've talked about, the access media, the mainstream media. It's like the advisors to royalty who refuse to actually tell them the truth and just tell them what they want to hear. And now they're starting to come to that grim realization that, wait a minute, this bubble that we're living in, it is not reflective of the actual reality that 99% of the rest of the population has, or that they view us as.
So tell me, where do you think this goes? We're only a week or 2 weeks into the full-on Hollywood strike, right? The writers have been striking for a while, but now they're joined with the rest of Hollywood, essentially.
After
we're only a week or two into that full-on strike, and already the access and corporate media, they're having to put out these kinds of crazy false photos, right? That has nothing to do with what actually happened, just to get clicks on strike-based articles where does this go over the next weeks as people continue to not care? And the entertainment media, especially, is stuck trying to find something to report on. What's going to be next? Are they going to be actually showing us Alec Baldwin taking out more people? Is he going to be like Rambo out there on the streets?
Again, what happens with a child that you're not paying attention to or that you're ignoring purposely or not? They just keep screaming louder and louder and louder. And so to answer your question, Pro, I have no idea, but I cannot wait to see, because I think it's just going to be, give it like 3 or 4 weeks. This will make this clickbait look tame, I think.
I can't even imagine. They're going to be taking photos from the Haunted Mansion movie and suggesting that those ghosts, right? The Hatbox Ghost, that's Bob Iger himself. He's actually decapitated himself. He's a disembodied head insulting the actors now. I don't know what they'll come up with. But I think, Tommy, too, the one thing about this that I think is important for all of us to consider, levity set aside for a moment, is that we all have to be careful about the clickbaity kind of stuff, and about when we get stuff wrong, we just need to come out and say it. And if we do so, I think it engenders trust with the audience, because they know that that we're here to be an impartial arbiter of truth and to project as best we can the reality that we all exist in. And so I'll give you an example. So on this channel, earlier this year, we predicted that Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning would do quite well. Now, I think we've had a heck of a track record in terms of accuracy, but that one was wrong. We got that one wrong. And so it now looks like Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 will be a flop at the box office. It'll actually lose money. But we're here to tell that. We're here to, when we get something wrong, we're here to say it. And we're not going to fake that like ScreenRant did with this person who is fully set ablaze, just to get a few easy clicks. And I think another thing, Tommy, that we need to be careful about is, I think there are some rumors out there in our community, right? The community that's paying very close attention to entertainment, to Disney, to find out what's going on, interested in scoops and leaks, which, by the way, will have a very big scoop coming out with, we believe, documents we can show. We're working on it next week, so hang tight on that. But I think there's a situation where we have some rumors out there that are just way out there in crazy world. And when that happens, I think it dilutes the respect that the community is given, sort of in the same way that when ScreenRant puts up this kind of an image and the reality is far, far different, it dilutes the trust that we put in ScreenRant. So, Tommy, do you think that there's something to that perhaps we all need to be very careful not to do what ScreenRant is doing, and not to be participatory in rumors without any basis of fact, and that perhaps go way farther than the norm?
I mean, this is basic humanity 101, like 101. Sorry, like, yeah, I just made a mistake, and this is what I'm trying to get at. Everyone,
well played, Tommy. Well played. I see what you did there.
Thank you. No, I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Even AI makes mistakes. There is no fallible system or anything that exists on this
infallible
planet.
You mean, right?
Infallible,
there's no infallible system. Yes.
And so that it's expected. It happens. And what I think resonates with people is when you own up to it, and you do say, you know what, we got quite a lot right. There was something that we got wrong, but we acknowledge that, we recognize it, and we move on. And that resonates because everyone's been there. Everyone's done that. It's happened to everybody, no matter what type of work you're in, your life experiences, that's occurred. And that's normal. That's a human interaction. That is behavior that you expect. And so when you've got instances where obviously an error has occurred or something maybe outlandish has happened, and you keep doubling down on it, and you don't just sort of come back with that human response of, okay, you know what, we kind of messed up, but we'll get it. We're acknowledging it and moving on, or acknowledging that an error was made. It's disingenuous. It breaks trust. It destroys any credibility that you have, and it does the exact opposite of what you want, which is creating a connection and a sense of authenticity with your audience. So it seems like a fundamental lesson. It seems like something that you would learn in kindergarten, in primary school, and yet so few people are doing that. And it goes back, again, to the Disney example, to Star Wars, to Lucasfilm. How much would it help the franchises under Lucasfilm, Star Wars, if they actually just came back and said, yeah, you know what? Obi-Wan wasn't that great. And we recognize that, and we're making some changes, bear with us. Even everything on Disney Plus, the simple admission of, we tried this is a new thing for us. We were under COVID. We've never really done a dedicated streaming service before. We're learning. That garners you so much goodwill, and so much patience and understanding, because we've all been there. And so to pretend that is not something that you are a particular, victim of, or that it is not, in this case, that, for example, Disney, well, they never made mistakes. They always double down. They never, ever say that they did something wrong. It doesn't work. And so I think, that it's just a fundamental, it's such a fundamental part of being human and having connections and relationships with others, that it just staggers me that people seem to miss this. And that turned into a little bit of a rant. I apologize.
No, I think you're right on point, Tommy. But, on that point, we're looking at this man, Mr. Massa, who is the stunt actor for Harrison Ford on so many movies. I think that he would have a stronger point to make in wanting more money. And that's what this comes down to, right? The actors, the writers, they want more money. And fair enough, maybe they need more money, and I can't blame them for wanting more money. But I think he would be in a stronger position if he had not just come off a film that lost something like $300 million and is in the running with The Flash to be one of the biggest flops of all time in all of history at cinemas. And yet there he is, proudly raising the fist while slightly aflame. And there ScreenRant is coming in, making it look like he's been fully lit ablaze and sacrificed his entire life, coming out looking like a charcoal nugget on the other end. And there's just layers and layers and layers here of poor reflections of reality, let's say. And folks, I hope that we can get to a better place where the truth matters again. It seems like the whole world has been twisted into this postmodern scenario where there is no truth. There's just power. There's just forming the narrative. And I'm here to tell you there is truth. And I'm here to tell you that if you play well with the truth, then other people will want to play with you, at least the kind of people that you want to have in your life. Exactly. All right, Tommy, I think we've rode this one out. I think the fire is going down a bit now. So at this point, where can people find you on this great, big, beautiful web out there?
Well, Pro, just before I say that, I do want to let you know that I've got a scoop, and I've actually got a source of news I don't think anyone is aware of.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. That photo that you have on your screen, I can verify with 99% accuracy. It is the one frame from the Indiana Jones movie that did not feature CGI.
Yes, well, an exclusive scoop from Tommy Tables, ladies and gentlemen. No de-aging happened here. Well, Tommy, where can people find you for more exclusive scoops such as that?
Well, you can find me on the Pro channel. I've been having such a blast doing member spotlights, focusing on the people who make up the community, the continuing growing numbers under the WDW Pro channel. The most recent one I spoke with was Red Tigress, and so that was a fascinating discussion. And
coming out tomorrow, by the way, Tommy, if folks are watching this on the day of its release, Sunday is when we will have the Red Tigress member spotlight interview with Tommy Tables available.
Thank you. And I think people realize, or at least can see now, that I don't bite. I think it's the spotlights are pretty fun. They are. My intent is that they be comfortable, that you are able to speak your mind about the things that interest you. And so if anyone is interested to have a chance to shine, please just let me know. I'd be very happy to talk to you. We've had I I can't even describe the scope of people and their interests, and the fascinating stuff that I've heard and that I've been able to speak to people about. It's a lot of fun, and thank you, Pro, for the opportunity to do this.
Well, you're very welcome, Tommy. You do bring the heat, but in a fair way. And I got to say, folks, that maybe the lesson here for all of you is that just as Tommy is looking to get the truth out about some of our members and talk about their lives and their experiences, perhaps that's the best way to go about it. Don't deceive, even if it is sizzling hot to do so. I don't know. These may be terrible puns at this point, but folks, just know that there's a big world out there, and it's constantly trying to get you to click on it. And when it's this bad, I guess we'll shine a spotlight on it. So, Tommy, thanks for being here today. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. And when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell. If you would like to have those member spotlight videos in your feed, well, the simple way to do it is to become a member of the channel. Click that little join button. It is the price of a soda per month. You'll get all kinds of access to exclusive content you can't see anywhere else. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Boom shaka laka laka. He's on fire.
He's on fire!
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their, different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured, by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?